welcome back to this Saturday's episode of Gabe's Cave. I'm your host here all by my solo today, Uncle Nasty, and I got a little treat for y'all. We're going to keep with the same soup, different cracker method with the panels that we did from the Oklahoma City Pop Culture Con. Before we talk about what that was, let's take a minute and thank our sponsor, RPGhiring.com. Thank you, RPGhiring.com. All these panels and these trips and the cards that we give away, none of that would be possible without you, so we really appreciate it. If you guys live in Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Kansas, or Oklahoma, and you were looking for a new career, maybe you're just sick of the one that you got, these people are building people and they are changing lives. Definitely give them a shout. RPGhiring.com, that is. So this panel that we are going to be airing today, separated, is the Legend of the White Dragon panel in memory of Jason David Frank that we did at the Oklahoma City Pop Culture Con, where his daughter Jenna Frank and his friend Jason Faunt were the two panel members. Things got a little emotional. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got super close. The fans getting up and expressing how much JDF meant to them, to basically his friend and daughter. It was pretty emotional, so it's definitely one you guys want to check out. See you soon.
Okay, guys, well, in case you did not know, this is Oklahoma City Pop Culture Con. This is Gabe's Cave's panel of celebrity guests, and this is the panel for the Legend of the White Dragon, and the guest that I have before me today is Jason Faunt and Jenna Frank. Okay, so you guys are going to get to ask questions. All right, so you guys think long and hard. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about these guys in case you did not know anything about these guys. Okay, Jason Faunt was the Red Time Force Ranger, 40 episodes, 2001. He also did voice for the Time Force Power Ranger video game. He was Power Ranger, also Red Power Ranger in Wild Force in 2002, in Super Mega Force in 2014, in Super Ninja Steel in 2018, and most recently, Legend of the White Dragon movie. Now, I'm going to tell on myself because I'm going to give away that there's stuff about pop culture that I didn't know, and this is something that I don't normally tell the truth about. I had no idea who this young lady was when I saw her name. I didn't. I didn't. I'm going to tell myself, but let me tell you right now, when I found out who she was, the role that she played, and the fact that she has been rapping, which is something that I did as well from around the same, yes ma'am, Uncle Nasty comes from Nasty. That was my rap name. That's right, that's right. We might have to link up later. This is Jenna Frank, guys. I go by J-Ray too. It's my J-Ray. Okay, J-Ray. I like it. I dig it. Yes ma'am. Okay, so as Legend of the White Dragon, I hear that you are trying your best. You want to be the Green Ranger?
Yes, I'm trying.
You got a microphone, right? Yeah.
So I'm trying to work on some things, behind the scenes. But I just feel like whatever is meant to happen is gonna happen for me. So I'm not putting too much pressure on it because I feel like God's got me. So He knows better than we all do. So,
That's right. That's right. What was it like, both you guys? Because I know once a Ranger, always a Ranger. So what was it like? You have your own, everybody has a mic. And the crowd has one too.
Even I have a mic.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, hey dude.
Yeah, that's the man about town out there. He's the crowd control. That's Lexington. So nobody's gonna rush you. You don't have to worry about that. He's got them. Okay, 100% secure.
So
yes.
What was it like to?
Yes. What was it like to be cast as a Power Ranger?
Well, I'll tell you what. When I actually read for the role 3 times. So the first time was for Lost Galaxy. They brought me up, and I was
a little closer.
Yeah, I went out and read for Lost Galaxy, didn't get it. Continue on trying to be an actor, waiting tables in Hollywood, and then the next year they brought me back for Lightspeed Rescue. Didn't get it. I'm like, okay. Kept moving on. I started doing soap operas. I was on Sunset Beach and Passions, different soap operas. And then the third year, they bring me up again to read. And I thought, well, either these guys feel sorry for me or they like me. So one of the three. So Time Force landed, and that was the role that kind of lined up to who I am as a real person. I'm very similar to Wes's characteristics. I was very excited to be a part of it. First because I was waiting tables and bartending, so it was nice to be a working actor. But I knew all about the legacy of Power Rangers, and to be a part of something that had this, at the time, it was big, but it feels like it's even bigger today. Yeah. It just kept building. But to be a part of this, at the time, 9-year franchise, I was very excited to be a part of it, and I had no idea 20-some years later that it would continue to build like it has. So it's all been exciting for me, and it's been a great adventure.
A wonderful career and a blessing to be a part of it and come through it with you guys. Yeah. Now, I know it's a close spot in your heart to be able to be in the suit like that. What was it like for you?
Well, I'm actually not a ranger yet, but I do play Ashley Reed on the movie. But no, but I don't know. Like I said, I feel like if it's meant to be, it will be, you know. But I feel like it kind of would be cool because I do know how to actually whoop butt too. So, you know, like I'm actually pretty good at martial arts. So I feel like
I've seen videos of you training.
And I know, like, you know, he's my dad and everything, but I can also earn that role if I wanted to. That's what I think. I don't know. I just, you know, I feel like whatever is meant to happen, is, you know, it's supposed to happen. But yeah, I'm not a ranger yet, though. Exactly. I'm just trying to focus more on my music and stuff like that right now. I talk a lot about like depression and mental problems and stuff we all struggle with, you know. So I feel like a lot of people don't bring it to light nowadays. So that's my thing. But I would love to be a ranger in the green one, of course, you know.
You guys, we're going to open this up and let you guys ask them anything you guys want to. So if you got any kind of question, Lexington will meet you in the middle with a microphone.
This is for Jason. Will you ever do a Power Ranger again?
Absolutely. If the opportunity came, for sure it would. And I'm not sure what'll happen. You know, we talked about. There's been some talk about coming back to the show. We've had discussions about, you know, involving Jenna in that. So I don't know what's going to happen right now. There's a lot of changes happening. But coming on and passing some sort of a mantle to Jenna. A few of us have kids, so there's been talk about maybe something in that manner. So who knows? I think that they're really recognizing now the power of the legacy Rangers. That's what took a long time for them to really go, hey, the more popular Rangers are the originals. That first 10 years, people love those first 10 years. So I hope they lean into it. We're not sure what's going to happen. If they do, Jason, her father, is very, very close with Iris. And I know Iris has always wanted to include Jenna, so we'll fingers crossed. But as long as we continue to come here and support us, and we're supporting you guys, I think Hasbro will lean into that. You never know.
Well, I'm only going to do Rangers if I do it with you, bro.
That's right. That's my little one.
This question's for Jenna. You've dropped a few singles. When are you going to drop that album?
I was actually just thinking about that yesterday. I just feel like the biggest thing, all of my music, actually 90% of my music is from when I was 15. Or 16. I'm 19 now. So a lot of time has changed, I guess, since then in my voice. But I'm just going to release all of my old stuff and just get it out the way so I can have my new stuff. But I'm actually planning probably next month. Well, it's almost July, so probably the beginning of August or late July. But I'm excited because there's a lot of different, I actually just created a country song too. Like, you can ask Diana. It's funny because I normally don't do country, but I've just been trying to do a lot of different things for everybody. Like rap, singing, an emo kind of singing, I guess, more darker, but then I have the lighter. I just have a whole bunch of different stuff for everybody. So yeah, next month, I'm excited.
So next month is when you're gonna.
Yeah. Well, It's almost July, so the late July or early August for sure. I'm just gonna drop a date and just go with it.
There you go.
Thank you for the question, bro.
Anybody? Yep.
Okay, so I saw that Valorverse picked up y'all's line for the Legend of the White Dragon movie. Are you guys excited to see how those figures look? Have you seen any of them or anything like that yet?
No, I saw that on Instagram, the new action figures.
Yeah, the action figures.
Yeah. So, I'm not really familiar with it. I don't have much to do with the production side of it, so Bat in the Sun kind of updates me. I know they're real busy trying to get the post-production done. Yeah. But they're talking about, extending that merchandise. I think a lot of it will depend on how those first two figures do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very exciting.
First, I don't have a question for Jenna, but I really hope to see you in green soon.
I know, me too.
But,
I would love it.
My question for Jason is, and I think a lot of people don't know this, you're also part of a very iconic video game franchise. You're Leon in Resident Evil 6. And I just wanted to know if you could talk about that and what that experience was like.
That was very exciting for me. And Capcom was a big fan of Power Rangers, so I think me coming to audition for that, they were very excited because they knew about Wes. I think that's when I realized how the Power Rangers thing was starting to help with the trajectory. Got that role, auditioned for it like anyone else. Resident Evil was a 2-year job. So for 2 years of my life, I couldn't say a word that I was Leon. And it was just a big job. And they were, I mean, they were so big on the way that you walk, the way that you sit, the way that you hold a gun. They spend thousands of dollars to bring the 6 actors to a shooting range to shoot guns just to get the feel of everything down. So Capcom takes a ton of time and money putting into those games. Of course, they make $1 billion when it comes out, but they really take their time with that stuff. So really exciting. Excited they brought me back to do Vendetta, the movie. We did that in Japan for 3 weeks. And hopefully I get to go back at some point again because I know Resident Evil's not going anywhere. It's like Power Rangers. It keeps coming back, you know? Yeah, but a lot of fun, big process. Big process. Good question.
Hi, my question is for you, Jason. I was just curious what your training process was for Power Rangers, exactly.
For the role of Wes and
Yes.
Alex? Yeah. So it was interesting. When they had me read for the role of a Power Ranger, I'm sure you guys all know, but I played 2 characters in the show. One was from the future, one was from the past, and they wanted them to be completely contradicting characters. So what they had me do for the auditions, I came in, I read for the role of Wes. It was a 6-page audition, and then they said, walk out of the room and come back as Alex and do the same reading. So that's what they did. So they wanted to see how different, the way I sit now is Wes. The way that I would sit, the way that I would talk. You know, Alex's mannerisms, because he's military, is much different. So it was fun. It was fun to be 2 different people. It was a long process. You know, they blacked out my hair, they slicked it back, and then I would do all the Alex stuff, and then they'd go and they'd wash it out. We redo makeup and come back and shoot the Wes stuff. So that was a lot of fun to do that. And they paid me double for doing that. So not a bad thing. Apparently you get paid like you're a separate person. I didn't argue it.
Anybody? Hands?
J. Ray, tell us about My Morphing Life.
Oh, I was young. I was super young whenever that was a thing. If y'all have the chance, y'all should definitely go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's called My Morphing Life.
How many seasons again?
Bro, to be honest, I don't even know.
There's a few of them, right?
Yeah, it
I
was.
think, yeah. I was really young, so see, I have a lot of trauma from when I was young, so I blocked out like a lot of things. But from what I do remember, it was really cool, man. I like there's been so many times we were like cut, like I don't know. It was amazing though, cause it was our thing, you know. But I mean, I was young, bro. To have cameras on me all the time, I was like, man, I need some privacy, bro. I'm like 10.
I'm gonna say that was 8 years ago ish.
Yeah.
If not longer.
Yeah, it's 2014, yeah.
So you would have been how old then?
I can't do math,
9?
bro.
9, 10 years old, yeah.
I'm terrible at math. That's actually the one subject I'm really bad at, bro.
I'd love to go back and see some of that because I was there for that and to see. I mean, I haven't gone back and seen that forever,
Yeah,
but that'd be
me
cool to
neither,
go back
dude.
and.
I
It's
know.
still up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is still up.
Yeah.
My mom's been watching it a lot. I don't know. Everyone grieves differently, and me, I just can't look at things and just stuff like that. I feel like everyone grieves differently, you know. I just like to just keep going. But yeah, definitely. I need to recheck it out, dude. Like for sure. Yeah, I sound so much like my dad. Even whenever I was little, I was like, I don't know, because we were doing this one drive where we my dad rented out Walmart, and we actually. Or not rented out, but I guess I don't know. Like we had like hundreds of people that we like actually got school supplies and everything for, and I was just like, I'm excited to give away and help people. I was all young, but yeah, it was cool, man. My dad's helped me with a lot, so.
I do see a lot of the same mannerisms. Like I just watch you talk, you know.
I'm Jason Jr., JJ.
Can I say, guys? I think it's so awesome you guys are here with Jenna supporting her, and it's just been so awesome that she's already known about this Ranger family. But we started doing shows this year, and you guys have just opened your arms and brought her in as one of your own. And I know you knew that, but I think you're feeling it now because it's you.
No, I really am.
And it's very awesome that you guys are she's just one of ours, and it's a big family. And thank you for being so amazing.
Thank you guys.
I was
seriously.
worried about you guys coming up here.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. I think a lot of people expect me to break down, but like one thing is I do have my dad's strength. You know what I'm saying? And he was a fighter, man. And don't get me wrong, and not that breaking down, it doesn't mean, but I want to keep strong for him and just keep his legacy clean and alive and just keep pushing. We're actually working with a lot of, me and my team are working with getting stuff together for the military, for special needs, for a lot of different communities, dude. Like, we're trying to really just get stuff going because you only live once, dude. You don't know when your time is up, so,
That's what's up.
Two-part question. First one, we'll go with a shorter question.
Are you reffing the later on?
No.
Okay.
You're not the first person to ask me that,
I
actually.
think they're starting soon, but that's pretty cool.
You're not the first person to ask me that, believe it or not. Even a couple of the wrestlers giving autographs were asking, shouldn't you be getting ready for that? I said, no. This is
you look sharp. You look sharp.
This is a costume. Thank you very, very much. Speaking of costumes, though, Jason, how do you see out of the Time Force helmets? Because I'm trying to make my own or something like that. And it's like, how do you see through it, or can you see through it?
So, all the stuff in the outfit is the stunt double. Any of the fighting. So the only time I put them on, it's kind of like limousine, right? You can see out, but you can't see in.
Right.
So everything's red, but you can see out of it fine. Yeah. It's a little tight in there, but you can pop it open, but you can see good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And Jenna, you mentioned you had some martial arts training. Can you talk more about that? Like, what do you have experience in, and what's your training?
So my dad has his own style called Toso Kundo. So it's basically everything put together, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, all of that put together, right? So I was trained in that since I was actually 2 years old. But whenever I got maybe like 13, 14, I kind of like lost interest in karate itself, but I really like Muay Thai and like boxing. Because I have ADHD, so things for me, like, it has to be like fast paced, So, but I'm training hopefully soon to go to Thailand and get my black sash. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I like, yeah, dude, yeah.
Your mom did that too,
Yeah,
right?
she did, yeah. So she wants to go back and train and then me get one too, out of respect for my dad,
Thank you both. Keep doing what you're
Thank
doing.
you.
Thank you, buddy.
Hi, Jenna, isn't it?
Yes.
I just want to tell you a little story about how I met your father. It was about a few months before he passed away. He came here to Norman. I don't live in Norman. But when I was in line, I was just so anxious to meet him. I thought, he would just, okay, what you want to sign? What do you want, be a little pushy. I didn't know what to expect from him. So when I got up to him, he said, "Hi, what's your name?" I told him my name, and I said, "Where are you from?" I told him where I was from. He said, "How far is it away?" Well, I'd say about 34 minutes between on the drive. I felt nothing but love from him. He actually cared about his fans, and just knowing that really shattered me when I heard he passed away. As a person with mental health myself, I kind of feel what he may have went through, but not as well as other things going through my head. But I just want to say he was a very nice person, even to his fans. I bet he treated me like I was family, and I just want to say he probably loved you more than anything else. Thank you. I couldn't.
Thank you.
I just want to get that off my chest and just say he really cared about his fans. If he asked them, where they from, how far is here,
It's crazy because I do the same thing. I don't know how many of y'all came up to my table. I'm like, "Where are you from? How far is that?"
Well, you're just like your dad then.
Yeah, I know. I'm Jason Jr. But no, I appreciate that, man. And
well, I just want to say, I just want to say, I bet, and I also backed your father's latest project, Legend of White Dragon. The last time I told him, I just can't wait to get my hands on it. I just want to watch it, see how good it is.
Are y'all excited? Yeah. How excited from a scale of 1 to 10? Yeah, that's good. That's what I like to hear.
But I was just hoping that one day I had the physical copy and have him signed, but unfortunately I will never have that opportunity. But I know that his spirit will live on in his work.
Yes. Amen to that.
Amen.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot. And I want to say something too, because I know you were talking about mental problems and stuff, and I think we all struggle with it. I'm a suicide survivor too. The first time I ever tried, I was really young, like 11, 12, and now that I feel like my dad has passed from that, I have to really make a stand to be like, okay, dude, like, this is for real. This is what's tough people don't talk about, but I can relate to that too. So I'm proud of you for being so strong, Thank you. Thank you, bro.
So when you guys were filming, Jenna, did you do most of your stunts for the film? And what was the most difficult part of filming the movie for you?
Well, actually, in the movie, I don't really have a lot of action. See, that's more like the big dogs over here, That's more like them. But I didn't really have too many action scenes or anything. But I feel like it was hard because actually in the movie, I think my dad's dead. He's been gone for 3 years, and I'm like, dude, Mom, just let it go. He's not coming back. I don't know what to tell you, So that was kind of hard because, my dad has struggled with these things, and there's been multiple, situations and stuff. And so I feel like that was emotionally very hard on me too. And I don't know. I feel like there was just a lot of emotional, I think, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, there really wasn't too many action scenes. It was just more of emotional, I need to breathe, just thinking about that, putting in your head. And then, it's bittersweet because it's now we're a part of a film that lives forever. And I'm just blessed that just the whole crew, man, every time, dude, every day, we just had such a good time together, man. I remember the one time, I don't know if you were there, but whenever I rapped and then he was filming me, I was because he would always rap it every day. I was no, today I'm rapping. I was and that's it. We rapped The Legend of the White Dragon. And he was all happy and stuff. But I really did just enjoy the whole experience filming and everything, especially because he played my dad and that is my dad. But now it's just bitter and sweet,
Yeah, and it's good for her because everybody knows that she has a background in martial arts. So this is showing a totally different side of her as an actress. And the emotional range, which is good, because everyone knows that she can do that. So this is good that we see a different side of her. And if she continues to go down the road of being an actress, this will give her a whole different side to show you guys, which is always something you want to do as an actress.
Dude, I want to go Marvel next. I don't know. I want to go, hey, you know who I really want to be, though? Poison Ivy, bro. Because the green, just imagine that.
Oh, yeah.
I would have to have red hair, but I don't know.
Have they done a Poison Ivy one yet? No.
No, I don't know. Have they?
She's been in Batman and Robin, but that's it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
They need to bring her back, dude. For real.
All right, this isn't so much of a question. This is kind of like the other guy earlier. I just wanted to express that as someone who grew up with Power Rangers, my dad sat me in front of the very first episode in 1998 when I got home from school, and rest was history. I named both of my children after Power Rangers, Jason and Lily. And I just wanted to thank both of you for being such an important part of any of us Ranger fans' lives. You guys have taught us a lot of things that not only could we list, but we also possibly couldn't list because there's just so much of a background to it and so much for us to pull from. And as a personal thank you, I just want to say, please don't give up on us. Please keep giving us more. So never stops. And so we keep having more future generations to look forward to this.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you.
That's so sweet, bro.
Yeah, that's very sweet. And as long as we love coming to these and meeting everybody, and everyone's always like, well, don't you get exhausted or don't you? And it's no, we meet fans from all over the world, and I think I've been to close to 30 countries in the past 7 years, and meeting people just like you guys that have grew up with this and have great stories. And as long as you're here to see us, we will continue to be here to see you, and there's no reason why we can't continue to do this for a long time.
Forever and ever and ever.
Always and forever.
Always and forever.
All right, guys, my question is kind of rhetorical, but who is the ultimate Red Ranger?
You know what? I think each season represents something different to each season represents something different to where you grew up, I think. And I think it's, if you grew up in the Time Force time, if you grew up in the Wild Force time, or you identify with a character like Wes that maybe chose his own destiny or kind of the character that he did, It's funny, the Red Rangers, especially those earlier guys, those are in real life real trained tough guys. And so I always like the character developed that of my guy did, but I think everyone kind of identifies with their own Red Ranger in their own way. Yeah.
I want to say something because I just want to say shout out to Austin though, because I know there was a little problems with him and my dad and stuff, but he is actually a really good human man. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Much respect to you. So yeah, but he's still my favorite Red Ranger, bro. Dang, bro, that's messed up.
Same category.
I'm so sorry. I can't stop him.
I just want to say one thing. If y'all don't know, your dad used to ride his motorcycle to comic shops. He really supported local comic shops throughout Texas and Arkansas and things like that. And I just want to know, it was just a memory that I know, that I remember about your dad doing that. And, to give back to local comic shops was really amazing. Anyway.
And he used to give autographs.
No, and he loved his motorcycles. He would always play "Picture Me Rolling in My 500 Benz." Tupac. That's what I grew up on, dude. Like I was like 6 years old in the car listening to Tupac. My mom was like, "Dude, turn it off!" Like in his Porsche and like Tupac and Eminem, bro. People ask me why I rap. I'm like, bro, that's why. I was like 3 years old, 4 years old, listening to Tupac. Don't ask me why I rap, bro.
Is in them blood. Born in there.
Mm-hmm.
We all shared something kind of touching here. I got to meet your father, but I had a specific comic book that I was super proud of, that I had been collecting autographs on, and I did not have it with me. So when I got to meet him, I did not get an autograph because we knew that he rode his Harley and went to cons around Texas and Arkansas frequently. Because we have a comic shop, it was on the agenda that he was coming. Unfortunately, we never got to have that. But I have that comic book today. You're going to sign it.
Yes, I was just going to say, let me sign it. Much respect. I also want to say, like, to everybody who comes up and has something signed by my dad and has me sign it, it just makes me feel like, I don't know, it makes me feel good inside, So thank you guys just for all the support. Even like he said, it hasn't been easy, but being with you guys, it makes it less painful. So thank you guys for all.
Yep. And any of you guys, if you ever feel like you need to talk to somebody, talk to them.
Don't be afraid to. Because one thing, me and my dad were like super tough, dude. Like that's why he treated me like a little boy, bro. Like now I'm older, I'm getting like more like soft and stuff. But growing up, he hid his emotions a lot, and me too. And that's what I'm realizing. It's okay to be vulnerable and to be like, I'm hurting. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all human, dude. We all bleed the same. We all have problems. Rather you want to think you don't or not. If you think you don't, you got more problems. But I'm just saying, But I don't know. I feel like life is it has to get better, Just keep baby steps every day.
Would any of you guys like to ask any questions? We've got a few more minutes that we can talk to these lovely people before this cosplay contest is supposed to start up.
All right, this is for Jason. And if you come back to Power Ranger, what the color you want to be next, or you want to go back to red?
Always red. Always red, yeah. That's the only color I see now is red.
I just wanted to say thank you for coming here, and I want to thank your dad, because he was the first person I ever got to meet, and for me it was an experience that I will never forget, just because it was one of those, for me it's just because how what he would do for his fans and what he would do, all the certain things, and I want to thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot, for real.
Thank you.
Seriously, thank you, bro. I like the fit too.
Oh yeah,
that's cool, bro. You're gonna win first place. Watch. Nah, I'm just playing. Well, I mean, I don't know. Wow. Woo, woo.
Oh yeah, the wings change the whole aspect. Yeah.
First thing I asked him is, can he do the middle finger? And he said, sure can.
All right.
I go, I love it. First thing I go, can you do the middle finger? He's like, yeah.
I just want to say thank you guys for coming out. And then also I got to meet JDF like last year or 2 years ago. Got to get some stuff signed. And just, what everybody's been saying, he's always been so great and just so nice to talk to and not rushing or nothing. It was like still like coming out of the pandemic where people wearing masks, but he was so nice and all that. And Jenna, can't wait to hear your music when it comes out and all
You
that.
can hear it now.
Well, I mean, like get
The new
I can't watch
music,
her
bro.
perform.
Oh, my bad.
Well, I
Yeah.
do have I have a music video dropped for my dad, so
Okay.
you
Well,
should
I've
check it
seen
out.
that and
Soul Searching.
because I follow you on IG. But
Oh,
and
okay,
then
thanks, bro.
Jason, whenever you filmed Forever Red, can you tell us some stuff about that went into that and like how that was?
It was good. Going into it, I didn't know how well that would work because you had a lot of alpha males trying to share a limited amount of screen time, and I thought this is not gonna go over too well. But truth is, it did. Everybody. That's where I first met her father, and we started to become friends. Then we became much closer years later, but that's where we started to become friends. And but everybody got along well, and it was a ton of kinship. I wish they would have made it longer. I wish they continued to do those, but it went way better than I thought it would. Yeah. And luckily for her father, he kept taking pictures of everything. I kept thinking, why is this guy taking all these pictures? Because I didn't realize that we'd be doing this stuff later. I just thought he was
One step ahead always.
Yeah, it was one step ahead. And I said to my wife, I can't believe all these pictures that he took because now here we are signing them years later. So he was just he had a vision that none of the other ones saw.
I want to say something too, bro. He had so much respect for you. Out of everybody in the whole franchise of Power Rangers, like this was his go-to, man. Right. No, I mean, dude, exactly, right? Like, no, he loved you, like, for real though. Like,
Jay always took amazing care of me, and I always told people he said I like your style and we just had a friendship. It wasn't based on business. It wasn't based on money. We were just two guys that enjoyed hanging out. We both kind of had the same style, how we dress and cars. And it was just, and I think he really realized that, this is just someone that's, we had a lot in common that was above money and above work, and there was a friendship there. So, yep.
Yeah, Faunt pants, we know.
Last question, guys.
I just wanted to thank you both for coming out. And Jenna, the thing about taking small steps, baby steps, it reminded me of a saying that I heard once. If you can run, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But no matter what, go forward.
That's right.
Oh, I like that.
Dude, exactly. I like that a lot. And I just made this song, and the last part of it says, be strong even on the days that you think you're not strong, because that's whenever you're the strongest. And that's true,
Yep.
Very good.
Stay focused and know you're not alone, dude. And please, if you're ever in pain, please try to reach out, dude. Know you're not alone. So many people have a similar story as you, dude. Like, so, yeah. You guys are all beautiful and handsome, dude. And just keep being you. It's all you can do, every day.
You guys get on your feet and give these people a round of applause.
Hey, let's get a picture, guys. Can we all get a picture of everybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I need a selfie, guys. We all need a selfie. Let me see.
So we can all get on the, squeeze it up best we can. Let's all
Come on up.
Everybody get up, get up.
Man, like I told you guys, if y'all didn't feel that, if it didn't pull on your heartstrings, then y'all probably didn't watch the same video that I was a part of that panel in, because it was pretty emotional. So yeah, guys, we got some more panels that are going to be coming out that we did while we were there. Pippi Longstocking is still coming up, so you guys just keep looking forward to that. Speaking of coming up, August 5th and 6th, we will be back in Oklahoma City for their Horror Con. We will be doing the panel there. We will also be hosting their Watch with the Celeb movie events that they're going to do. I think it's Night of the Living Dead, and I think it's Friday the 13th is the two movies that we're going to be doing. Unless something changes, I'm pretty sure that's going to be it. September 30th through October 1st, we will be back in Texas for Cowtown Comic-Con. That's where a lot of the people that we normally get together with on an everyday basis and talk to on social media and stuff, they'll all be under the same roof, so that's always cool. DP's Food Truck Park, whatever you want to call it, it's almost done. It might as well be a park because there's going to be so much stuff to do there. Yeah, so appreciate it, guys. And until next week, Uncle Nasty, we out.